You can learn every scale in the book, memorize 100 solos, buy a $5,000 archtop, and still sound like you're typing data into a computer. The problem isn't your gear, and it isn't that you don't know enough theory. The real reason is that you don't really know what you want to sound like. You're playing with your eyes and your head, but not your ears. Today we're going to start fixing that. I'm going to show you how interpreting a melody, not just playing the notes on the page, is the first step towards developing your own voice. I'm Dr. George, and I've helped thousands of guitarists make better music by playing more and thinking less. In this video, you're going to learn the how and why of learning melodies, how Joey DeFrancesco transforms a melody without losing the song, and how you can start doing the same thing step by step so that your playing actually sounds like you. And stick around to the end, and I'll also play my own interpretation so you can hear how all this comes together. The melody doesn't get nearly the attention it deserves from guitarists. It's not surprising since we don't always get to play it. When I was a student, the message was clear, solo over the changes. So the melody became something you just kind of knew, but that couldn't be more wrong. The melody is the song. But reading the melody from a fake book isn't the answer. When you read, you're putting your eyes in between your ears and your fingers, and what's on the page is only an approximation of what we play anyway. The fake book should be an answer sheet, not an instruction manual. The best way to learn a melody is by ear. You'll know the song better, and you won't forget it. And your comping and soloing will improve too. Learning songs by ear may seem a little daunting, but it's worth it. If you need help with that, there's a link in the description to my mini course, Learning Fly Me to the Moon by Ear and Making It Stick. So here's Fly Me to the Moon as it's written in the fake book, and you can play it exactly as written. So the notes are correct, but it's kind of stiff and boring. Now listen to this. I transcribed this from a recording by Joey DeFrancesco. Same notes, totally different story. On paper, it looks pretty complicated, but when you listen to it, it makes perfect sense. Every musician will have their own way of playing a melody. We're always improvising. So let's look at how you can start making a melody your own too. We can break this down into a simple process. The first step is listening and singing. You must have the sound in your ear before your fingers can play it. And if you can't sing it, you don't really hear it. As Joe DeFrancesco told us, listening should be 50% of your practice time. When you're ready to play, the next step is to change the rhythm. Jazz needs to groove, and that means moving notes to the upbeats. Move notes a half beat earlier, more drive and swing. Delaying them a half beat creates some anticipation. Delay them a little more, and you create tension. The third step, articulation, goes hand in hand with rhythm. Articulation is how the notes are attacked and released. This is what gives a melody shape. In jazz, that often means accenting upbeats and using space intentionally. On guitar, you accent notes using pick attack, hammer-ons, pull-offs, slides. This is how you give the melody shape and direction. These are the main tools Joey D used throughout the head, changing the rhythm, varying note lengths, and leaving plenty of space. Now, once the melody has shape and groove, you can begin to change the notes a bit. A simple way is just adding approach notes. But sometimes you just hear something and you follow it. Joey does that very sparingly here. The key is restraint. You don't want to take it too far. We still want to hear the melody. Now, vocalists have to stay true to the lyrics, but as instrumentalists, we have the options to occasionally step away from the melody, adding short fills or briefly playing over the changes. But don't overdo it. Start simple and only add fills where the melody rests. And always ask one question: does this make the melody better? Now, none of these ideas should be used randomly. A great interpretation has shape. In the first half, Joey plays pretty simply, almost like a singer, but on the repeat, he changes it up some. Let's take a listen. So let's see what he did. He starts by delaying the first line 2 beats, and then he plays them as even eighths, but behind the beat. That's something that's almost impossible to notate. Then he plays a string of 16th notes, but he's just ornamenting the original line. Now that works on an organ, but on a guitar, I think triplets might sound better. The next phrase is exactly the same as what he played in the first A. And then he finishes it with the only fill he plays during the head. And in the last section, he comes back to the melody, leaving space and setting up the high point before ending on a G pedal that leads to the guitar solo. So now I'm going to pull this all together and play my version using the ideas we just talked about. But this is just one possible interpretation. I'll never play it exactly the same way twice. That's what makes it jazz, and that's what makes it fun. The melody is already timeless. Your job isn't to improve it, it's to support it. As Art Blakey once told Wayne Shorter, Mr. Gershwin don't need your help. Be mindful of the other instruments as well. If there's a piano, a horn, or another comping instrument, leave them some space. Used sparingly, fills can add variety and interest, but overused, they distract from the song. Interpreting a melody is one of the best ways to begin forming your own sound. This isn't about avoiding mistakes, it's about exploration. It's far more musical and far more fun than running exercises. It helps you stop thinking about chords and scales during the solos and start thinking about the song. And it helps connect your ears and your fingers. I use these concepts to find my voice, and I want to help you find yours. It's hard to hear yourself objectively, which is why I offer a free style audit. I'll listen to you play and tell you exactly which of these areas, rhythm, shape, articulation, is the key to unlocking your sound. I did this for 30 years as a college music professor, and I still do it every day with my students. If you'd like that kind of feedback, click the link below and choose a convenient time. Now there's one more thing Joey does. In the out chorus, he adds texture to take the melody to the next level, harmonizing it and using the organ's timbre to add depth and color. If you want to dig into how to harmonize a melody, check out this video.